At Eco Hotel, where we are having the maiden edition of the Eco Art Expo. The Eco Art Expo is basically to celebrate art and also to make it as one of the mainstay of the Lagos economy and eventually the Nigerian economy, given the diversification initiative of the government. Now, this year's edition is dedicated to Rasheed Gbadamosi, one icon who was a lover of the arts, even though he was one time the Minister of National Planning. Now we're talking about arts. Art is live. Art is expressive. And we have quite about 20 stands here where arts of different genre, of different expression and colors and impressions are exhibited. So I have somebody here. I have one of our art representative who will be taking us around the different stands to give us an insight into the arts that are being exhibited here tonight.
Rasheed Gbadamosi passed on just several weeks back, and he was also the chairperson or the co-chairperson for the Eco celebration at 50. So his passing on left a vacuum, not just in the works, but in everybody's heart. And also left a vacuum in the art collecting scene. So it was the best way to honor him by immortalizing his name and calling the exhibition or naming the exhibition after him.
Okay. We're about to take a tour around the different stands here. Of course, our able tour guide is here to give us a beautiful tour of the different stands, right? And we're starting off with this stand owned by whom now?
The African Arts Foundation.
Okay.
The exhibition actually first was showed in Belgium. It was a photographic exhibition in Belgium. It was called Day Your Lane. It has to do with response of what's happening in Lagos. Why is a place that is so tumultuous churning up so much creative energy in music, in photography, in the arts? And Mr. Azu Nwagbogo was tasked with putting up a show to show what Lagos, what energy is in Lagos. So he thought photography would be the best way to capture the essence of the creative energy in Lagos.
All right, now I can see here a beautiful portrait of Lagos, I suppose. This is a beautiful portrait of Lagos?
The third mainland bridge, actually. It's one of the I think it's the longest cement bridge. I'm not sure, but I think it's one of the longest cement bridges in the world. It's over 11 kilometers.
We can see the different illustrations here where we have the crowd, the regular crowd that's associated with Lagos.
What they were looking at actually is, you have to look at the entire exhibit as a unit. It's about what happens in Lagos, how the people manage themselves. You look at a man putting on is trading, yet is doing an incredible balancing act with his head of his wares, putting about 4 stools on his head in an incredible manner. The texture of the Lagos market, the strange boys who dive underwater through very murky, because that's actually brown water, you can hardly see, but they bring in sand from the depths of the sea, and that's the sand that they use in building. Instead of dredging, they actually scoop up sand.
Wow.
Modern technology will dredge out, but because these are local boys, and this is where most of the sand that builds the Lagos landscape come from. These are the people. So these are people looking at what texture makes Lagos. The danfo drivers, the bus conductors, the hawkers, the market women, the music, the musicians, the artists. This is what you see through. So you're not looking at it as one person.
An aspect of Lagos.
Yes, but you're looking at
the holistic.
Yes, that's what the entire exhibit is about. So I cannot speak on one, but I have to speak about the whole.
All right. Still talking art and still moving to the different stands. We are belting now at the moment at Terra Culture. Terra Culture is one of the prominent names in the art world. She has carved a niche for herself, and we are right now at a stand.
It's called the Nigerian Cultural Center for a reason, because it's a home for theater, it's a home for the visual arts. You get there, you experience the flavor of Lagos, the flavor of Nigeria in one single sitting. They've taken works of different artists, master artists, old master artists, current or contemporary master artists, and let me see, there's just an introduction of a younger person there. But here you have Kolade Oshino as being the major artist here, and you have Gbadamosi. No, actually, we should not. That's upside down. We should start with Gbadamosi. Being he's passed on many years ago, was probably the only artist in his own generation that studied art. Probably, I can't say categorically for that, but he is a great artist, great artist, and left a great legacy behind. You have Kolade Oshino. Yes, that's Kolade Oshino. Then you have Gerald Chukwuma, Segun Ayeson, Say Tantwa, Sam of Writing, Kehinde Sanwo.
This one is watercolor on paper. And this, you said, was done many years ago when art was not very popular. It was not a mainstream profession.
That is a very pricey piece. That's more like an auction piece. It's rare to find such a piece in this kind of venue, but I guess it's being shown to let people know what is available in the collection of terra culture.
8 million naira?
Yes, please. Those are auction works. As in the minimum, I was just making a conservative prices of a.
Wow. Both of them are going for that amount. And then here we have the one by Sam of Variety, oil on canvas, and it goes for 1.4 million. So you really have to love the arts for you to want to cover that kind of amount.
There are two things. Art is a fine culture. It's like wine. Wine is not water. If you're thirsty, go drink water. But wine is an acquired taste, and you have to be able to tell the difference in your wine. Whether you're drinking a rosé, a pure red, whether you're drinking Merlot in the red, or you're drinking a Cabernet Sauvignon, or you have to know what you're drinking. So also is art. At the time you're enjoying, it's first for the joy of it. Then it's an investment thereafter. Well, a lot of people are buying, first of all, for their own joy. But when you're buying an M1, it's both for joy and investment. When you're buying an rice, it's both for joy and investment. You might not benefit from it, but your children will benefit from it later. And by that time, over IT might be 5 or 50 million.
Wow. This is quite an education here. So what is this really?
This looks like a Fidelis Odogwu.
Okay.
He's the one we say bends metal, makes metal bend to his own taste. Notice that the works are in cubes. These are metal cubes. Cubes. They're metal, but they're cut in cubes and rearranged by welding.
Wow.
So it's an incredible amount of work you're looking at. He's a master artist in metal.
That's Fidelis Odogwu.
Yes,
okay.
Yes.
All right, so we'll move away from terra culture now to the next stand. And what I can see here is a woodwork, right?
Yes.
Okay.
I think that at this point in time, you should, because the owner of the gallery is right here, and she's a great person at narratives. This is Kofi Setuji, but I'd like to invite her so that she can.
All right. Okay. So in the meantime, Shego is on mute because we are coming into SMO Contemporary Art. This is her stand, and the owner is here, so she'll be giving us an insight into what her exhibition, what she's exhibiting at the expo. Hello. Good evening.
Good evening. How are you?
Very well, thank you. We're doing a tour around this stands, the different stands here at the expo, and we came across a very beautiful assemblage, yes. Of woodwork. And I was
it's actually not wood. It's made out of carton.
Carton?
Yes, these are
Wow.
they're very light.
Wow.
They're made by a Ghanaian artist. His name is Kofi Setoji.
Okay.
And they're three men who speak no evil, who see no evil, who hear no evil.
Interesting. So, see no evil, speak no evil, hear no evil, and do no evil.
And do no
Because
evil.
I can see they don't even have hands to even work. They don't have hands to. I want to believe it's part of it. You do no evil because your hands are strapped behind.
That's right.
You're trapped.
That's right.
What would have informed this?
Well, Kofi Setorji is in his 60s.
Okay.
He's a major artist in Ghana.
Okay.
And you would say that he is definitely a contemporary artist, very experimental. So this is also his work. This is called The Stair. And it's he's actually painted on jute as opposed to canvas.
It's like a view, a camera lens that sees.
Well, it was inspired by when he was a young child looking at big billboards, and he felt that the people in the billboards were the eyes were following you. So wherever you stood, they were looking at you. So that was the inspiration behind this work.
Wow.
This is Constance Swaniker, and she's talking about the woman unfolding, actually like a butterfly, coming out and showing the beauty, actually unfolding and embracing her full potential.
So are we saying this is like a depiction of the evolution of the woman?
That is absolutely right. You're an artist yourself.
No, I'm just...
You're doing great. You're doing great. You're really understanding the artist's art.
Nice. And then we have one metal work here. And I can see an inscription here. And it says, sometimes we have to lose something precious in order to gain something priceless. What a statement by Constance Swaniker.
Yes, Constance Swaniker.
Okay.
Is, also a contemporary artist. This particular work was inspired because she was going through a very difficult time in her life. Wow. And she realized that the solution to her problems lay within her. And so there is the key to unlock the answer to what we're struggling with. Often we look outside, but actually if we're quiet and we look inside, we often find the answer within.
Wow.
I'm going to tell you about this particular piece. This is by an artist. His name is Obiora Anidi.
Okay.
And it's inspired by the phenomenon of skin bleaching.
Oh my word.
So you can see that this sculpture has 4 different sides, and on every side the vision of the face is different. And he's just saying, you know, the skin pigmentation, that when we keep bleaching and bleaching, it actually affects our pigments, and what happens in the end is that your face starts to look patchy. So this is the inspiration behind this work, and also the big work with the big head over there. They're both by Obiora Anidi. So just talking about how we need to accept ourselves, accept our beauty, accept how God has made us, and make the most of it. When we try to adjust what God has made, we end up
altering what God has made.
Exactly.
Wow, this is interesting. This is actually very deep.
Yes, it is.
It's very deep.
And it's also a beautiful sculpture because it's inspired. Obiora Anidi teaches in Enugu.
Okay.
He's a doctor, and he teaches art. And you see in this some inspiration from the uli symbols that were used in eastern Nigeria by women who were designing the walls of their houses, and also using uli for tattoos. So he is from that tradition of using uli symbols and inspiration in his work.
Okay, so if you look, if you go in detail, you will see this piercing, and
Yes.
this is also part of this is also part of altering, you know, God-given, you know,
And
endowment.
It's a compound. It's a compound material. He's actually created it out of cement and marble, mixed it together. Yes, and then created this. This piece here is also by him, Obiora Anidi.
Okay.
And
I think I can see here beauty at the crossroads.
Yes.
It's just telling women. I won't believe most women are probably the target. Telling them that, come, you look beautiful in your natural sense. And nature in itself, or God who has created us all, must have a reason for creating us the way He has created us. So you altering it is you questioning God, right? So again, we say something. Art is expressive. Art is life. Art is deep. All it takes is for you to look deep into an artwork, and then you always find a meaning, if not meanings, to that artwork, right?
You're absolutely right.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
This is another piece by Obiora Nidi. It's called Down Not Out.
Oh, okay.
And he uses metal and again marble and cement
Okay.
to create a feeling, a movement, a motion. So the inspiration behind this work is that we may be down, but there's something pulling us up. So there's something that's lifting us out. So we're down, but we're not out. We're going to be brought back, whether it is through our faith or through our belief or through positive thinking or through work. Somehow we're going to rise up again. So that's the inspiration behind this work.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I have thoroughly not just enjoyed myself, but I've learned quite a number of things, especially for the women. And of course, see no evil, hear no evil, do no evil, and stay where you are, right? Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So we're moving on to the next stand. And of course, the tour continues. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Right now we are at the Relay Art Foundation. Okay, and so basically what is this all about?
Relay Art Foundation caters for young contemporary Nigerian artists.
Okay.
People doing new works and new style and new forms. New forms of it. If you look at the works, they're new forms and new expressions. So that's her forte, the area where she challenges young artists to express themselves in ways that are not have not been done before.
And so we're going on to the next stand. And of course, in the next stand, we have the Gemini Art Raphael.
Yeah.
Wow. Good evening.
Good evening. How are you doing?
Very well, thank you. So we are in your stand now, and I want you to. I can see you have some beautiful collections here.
Yeah, so we have 7 artists on ground.
7
There's-
artists.
Yes, there's
Okay.
Imike Oka. Yeah. There's Babala Lawson, Cicin, Taiwo Fadare, Muiwa, and Barua. We actually have one big Nigerian artist, Emmanuel Imbanefo.
Wow. I think I've seen something similar on the in the previous stand.
You can't miss it.
Wow, this is beautiful. This is beautiful. But the one that catches my attention the most is this. It's abstract, but at the same time very very catchy.
What do you like about it?
Well, what I see here is a woman who is silenced. I can also see a woman who is blindfolded.
Okay.
It's like taking a leap in the dark. And then I can see one who is trapped in a bottle. When I mean trapped in a bottle, I don't mean trapped literally.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that.
I love you. I love you.
Oh my God, I'm becoming an artist.
Yes, it's good. It's good. It's good. It's good for you to know what you're doing.
Okay, so these are different children,
Yeah.
young people.
Yes.
And here is it's a girl. She's closing her ears to probably the pollution of the word. Pollution
that's
of
how
the
you
word.
say
Yeah. Hear no evil, do no evil.
Bravo! Bravo!
I'm just being expressive. I am a novice when it comes to art.
You
but
said it all. You said
what
it
I
all.
see here is this.
Yeah.
Speak no evil, see no evil, hear no evil, and do no evil. Wow. Wow. I can't believe I just cracked this with the help of our tour.
Gemini Arts, Raphael Akinire.
This is so interesting. So basically, what is the rationale behind this artwork?
It's actually a celebration of the survivors. Probably Nigerians call it the Chibok girls.
Okay.
The survivors. And it's actually a global thing. It's a global message, like the survivors. This one, we can actually relate it, this particular red piece, we can actually relate it to the Benin trapped ladies, probably the prostitutional lady in Italy and whatever. That's why it's red. It's actually a message, to people like, okay, these ladies are trapped in it probably with oath. Secrecy, yeah. Secrecy, oaths,
And you can see that they're not happy.
They're not happy. They're not happy. But what is actually happening here is not that it's the same ladies, but these are the survivors. They are the people that actually survived the mayhems. And they are the people we're actually celebrating. Because without them, we won't know what is actually happening down there.
Oh, wow. All right, thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
for the education.
Yeah.
So we're moving on to the next stand.
Okay.
Thank
You're
you very
welcome.
much. Yeah. We're going over to my dream gallery where our curator is waiting in the wings. We are finally at my dream gallery owned by Simi. She's a very popular art collector and an artist herself. And of course, her stand here is a collection of different artists, I suppose?
Yes, different artists.
Okay, so I can see one here,
Yes.
Lagos yellow buses.
Yes,
One color that resonates with Lagos, yellow.
yes. And transportation in Lagos.
And transportation in Lagos.
Yes.
So who put this one together?
Mufu Akoyin.
Okay.
He's a young professional studio artist.
All right.
Very talented, very creative. What you find is a lot of people painting buses, it's obviously buses and doesn't leave much to the imagination.
Yeah.
But Mufu here, you can see that he's painted the crowd. It's like a crowded, bus terminal, somewhere like Oshodi in the past
I was
before
gonna say that.
before Fashola. And you've got the yellow buses and you've got the crowd, but it's not so obvious that that's what it is. You have to,
Look deep.
you have to look
You
deep.
have to think deep.
You have to think,
Oh wow, this is great. This is so
So it
abstract, but at the
it
same
engages
time
it engages the mind.
Oh wow, this is
Yes.
nice. All right, so I can see another one here that is also quite abstract. if you
Yes,
ask
that's
me.
abstract, but that's by one of our master artists,
Okay.
the younger masters, Alex Nwokolo.
Okay.
It's called City Stickers, but it's really it's about the Chibok girls. So you see the images of the many girls, faceless girls, and all the commentary, all the newspaper adverts, the TV, all the newspaper, coverage, all the media coverage, and yet at the time he painted it, very little results, no results at all,
But it's a good thing now that we found a number
Yes,
of them.
yes.
And God
And
willing,
hopefully we will find, yes.
the rest of them. And I can also see another beading here, another beaded work of art. This is by whom?
David Dale. David Dale is one of our renowned art masters,
Okay.
and this is original glass beads. So you can imagine what work has done into this, what talent has gone into this. Creativity. First the drawing, and then filling it out one bead at a time. It's painstaking.
You have an
It's
idea of
just-
how long this would have taken the David Dale to put together?
It's dated 2016, but I know that he started this in 2013. What he did was started a few works together, and then would go back when inspired. So different stages, took him 3 years to complete.
Wow, this is interesting. This is beautiful.
That's really beautiful.
This is
It's the
beautiful.
Lagos Boat Regatta.
Wow, this is
And
lovely.
this is relevant to the theme of the exhibition.
That's a Lagos eco for sure. And then we also see another artwork, and this is by whom?
This is by Kehinde Sanwo. He's one of the master artists with the young masters.
Whoa.
And this is a scene of Igboshire. That's the Lagos Island, old Lagos. And he's painted Kehinde Sanwo's area. He documents the old houses across Nigeria. And so before they're demolished, so that we have records in oil painting. So he goes around and he paints old family houses, so that in the future you you have a record of what it used to be like.
Okay, so this is where Lagos actually started off, and then we started
spreading.
And now it has become a small piece
and
of
now
Lagos.
Ogun State, it is.
Wow, this is beautiful.